Number one, whether or not it's philosophically correct, if we let these prisoners be pardoned by the government, whether if we let these prisoners to be compromised their sin when they retribute their sin into becoming army. Second issue, whether or not the harms that be presented by the negative side of the house can be minimized, even can be tackled by the government right now. I'm going to prove these two issues. If I already prove this, therefore I will ensure UGM wins in this final. So let's go to the first issue, whether or not it's justifiable for you to let these criminals become an army. They say in the first layer, they say it's not justifiable for you to let these prisoners become an army because they believe what we should do, we have to uphold a just war. Maybe they want to say that this is really a dirty ways for us to win the war. Maybe they want to say this is a really tricky ways. It is unconventional, unorthodox to win the war using criminals. But what we say, Mr. Speaker, is justifiable for us to use anything necessary to win the war, even if we're talking about war against terrorism. But if we analyze the war against terror in Afghanistan, what we were trying to fight in this matter is a terrorist organization, Mr. Speaker. This terrorist organization never use a just way, never use a better way, never use a justifiable way that being regulated by international law to win their war, Mr. Speaker. They attack civilians directly. They use poison gas everywhere. They even refuse to use uniform when they're upholding this belligerency in Afghanistan. Therefore, when these terrorist organizations use anything necessary to win their war, they even violate so many principles of international humanitarian law to win their war, why we say it's not fair for America to not respond them by just also using the same dirty ways, Mr. Speaker. We say yes, maybe you were using a dirty ways, using criminals to do that. But the point is, it's still justifiable at the moment. Why? Because we say there is no single international law that prohibits a country to use criminals as their troops. We say this is the sovereignty of a country that maximizes their own society. We say this criminal is still part of the society and still subject to the regulation of the government. We say it's the sovereignty of the state government to use this criminal because this is their sovereignty, and we say there is no single law that overrules the sovereignty. Therefore, in the terms of a just war, yes, we say it's still a just war. There is no single law in international society that bans this. Moreover, it's really justifiable to respond the dirty ways to be upheld by Taliban in Afghanistan. But the second issue in the justification point, they said it's not fair if you empower this criminal to have capability to kill people in the future, even using taxpayer money. And they say there's also a big transaction for the society. First of all, we say it's really assumptive, Mr. Speaker, if we use an affirmative logic that these people will suddenly get into chaos after they be released from their military service. The point is they have to prove why these prisoners, after they fulfill their 5 years term service in military, have the willingness again to go to the jail. At the first place, Mr. Speaker, we say these people are investing 5 years in military services, exchanging their life in the battlefront. Do they want to sacrifice this whole 5 year investment just to do again a crime in the future, Mr. Speaker, and they go to the jail again? This is the point, that this is illogical if you use analytic logic, because we believe there is no willingness at all from this prisoner to harm against society in the future, because we believe they already invest so many times to free from this prison and they do not want to compromise this 5 year investment. Moreover, even if they happen to harm against society in the future, just criminalize them again and never give them pardon anymore, Mr. Speaker. That's the deal. And moreover, in the terms of rejection of the society, we say every policy of the government always comes to the controversy. There's certain rejection, there's certain acceptance. But the point is, government always have a more rational choices rather than the society to uphold this proposal. The proposal that rejection of the society only comes from paranoia that they fear that this criminal will harm them again in the future. Just a paranoia that's really subjective and not justifiable to be one of government parameters to create such policy. We say we should use government consideration. Government have a better information related toward the willingness of this prisoner. Government have better information toward the condition that being faced by this prisoner after they uphold the war. Therefore, when government always ensure they have a better information to ensure that this prisoner will not again harm society in the future, it's justifiable to uphold a proposal at the end of the day. Therefore, in terms of philosophical way, it's still justifiable for us to let these prisoners become an army to secure our security, Mr. Speaker. Even they cannot prove you why the paranoia of society, the fear of society, a minority of society, justifiable to overrule the majority society's interest to uphold security in their own country. Because we say if we fail to fight terrorism in these cases, we risk society toward a terrorist organization movement. We do not want any more 9/11. We do not want any more Oklahoma bombing. If a nation is being threatened, the harm is tangible that, Mr. Speaker, the society's survival, when in their hands, how only paranoia of society is really subjective. Even if society do not feel comfortable with this condition, so be it. It's better they live in uncomfortable condition rather than expose them to the threat of death itself if terrorist organization prevail in our country. Therefore, we believe in terms of justification, we still win this debate. Now, going to the harm. The only harm comes out from negative house when these military will betray their own country, when they will issue information toward their enemy, so on and so forth, they flee, so on and so forth. We say this only case in the assumption that the training system that we provided is not effective. We question why the tendency of betrayal only exists to the troops that comes from hideous crime at the first place. Because we believe every troops always have the possibility to do this at the moment. So the point is whether or not government can supervise them, Mr. Speaker. When they ask us, the supervision for commander is not enough. They can still kill people, innocent people in the war without being supervised by their commander. We say the supervision in the battlefield is not only come from government. We say we have war journalists to supervise these people. We have United Nations fact-finding mission to supervise these people. Even we say war crimes in Gaza can be reported in a Goldstone report after the United Nations see and supervise the war, Mr. Speaker. And this is the point that after these prisoners already been supervised heavily by international society in the war, and even by their own government, we say there is no tendency at all. They harm society. They do war crimes, Mr. Speaker. Even though they proved in the first place in my second speaker, they didn't have the willingness to do this war crime because they didn't want to compromise the power that they want to achieve when they firstly come to intermilitary action. So the point is, Mr. Speaker, their harm is really assumptive and cannot be justified to reject our proposal. And then again, Mr. Speaker, they say certain harm. That how if this criminal they are psychological harm, they have this psychological turbulence, Mr. Speaker, and they do not create a rational decision. We say even if they do this heinous crime, it's not necessary that they are crazy people that do not understand the concept of law, so on and so forth. We say if these people do a heinous crime and they are crazy enough and they want to attend this criminal and we want to train them, in the training process, government can see whether or not these people emotionally stable, Mr. Speaker. If they are emotionally unstable, if the people is crazy enough, a warmonger, we say we will not deploy them in the battlefield at the first place. This is the point. When our training ensure you, government acknowledge the capability, the psychological condition of the prisoners whether or not they are ready to be deployed toward the battlefield at the first place. We can prevent any possibility of harm because we believe why is only exclusive toward this criminal at the end of the day. Maybe the last point I want to engage is that they did not engage our point. They should show you why status quo enough. They should show you why, for example, empowering local militia in Pakistan is enough to address war on terror. Why hiring mercenaries is enough to address war on terror. Even if they want to bring in the third speaker, I'm going to debate this by saying, we say it's not mutually exclusive with our proposal. If it's still America could still use this criminal as our troop, hiring mercenaries and another way, also empowering local military in Pakistan. Therefore, we have different ways, so many ways to win the war. Therefore, we could ensure society security. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I beg you to propose.